It's the Joseph Bristol Show.
Welcome to another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. So, it's been one of those weeks for me, but what can I say? That's life for you. So, today I wanted to make a quick video. I want to talk about capitalism, right? And the reason why I want to talk about capitalism is because I've been seeing on the internet a lot of comments about how capitalism is horrible and we don't need capitalism in America. Capitalism sucks. And I think that a lot of the problems with people saying these things is, one, a lot of people are just bandwagon. So, like, they're just saying it because other people are saying it, and it just sounds good. It sounds like something to say. It sounds like something that is sensible, and it's not, right? So what is capitalism, right? What is free market capitalism, right? So a capitalist system and a free market capitalist system is or are both economic environments that are based on the law of supply and demand. So there's something that we want, and somebody is supplying it for us, so we pay for it, right? Now, people will say, oh, capitalism is exploitation. You're just exploiting poorer people so that you can get richer, right? And all the wealth is harbored in one area. That's why Jeff Bezos is so rich and everybody's so poor, and Bill Gates has all the money and everybody's so poor, right? And that's not capitalism. That's not the fault of capitalism, right? So a free market system is an economic system based on supply and demand with very little government regulation. So I'm against that. I love capitalism to begin with. I love the idea that if you want to sell, lemonade in front of your house, you can get up and do that, right? And if you got a guy that makes the lemonade for you, you're paying him, $2 an hour, $3 an hour to sell your lemonade for you. Of course, you can't do that because minimum wage is like $7 and some change. So technically legally you wouldn't be allowed to pay somebody $2 an hour to do any job in America, because you have to follow the guidelines for minimum wage. But capitalism is a wonderful thing because of supply and demand, right? So here's my thing. And then another thing that I'm against people making videos complaining about capitalism and then not offering a better solution, right? So in Hong Kong, people are upset that the Communist Party wants to take away their democratic rights, their ability to vote and elect officials based on voting. And they are against that, right? And they have a solution. They're saying, give us democracy. That's what we want, right? So, but we're not even talking about that right now. Right now, the main thing that we're focused on is capitalism. What is capitalism? And again, it is having a market that is supply and demand. We make things, people want to buy those things, we sell those things, and we get paid for those things that we make and sell, whether it's a service or a product, right? So if you're offering someone a service, you clean houses, you mow lawns, you do taxes, you do whatever it is that you do, and you're getting paid for that, right? And then you have other systems that aren't capitalism. I'm not even going to get into that. This is why it's a beautiful thing, capitalism. And it's not the issue of capitalism that is the problem with America. The problem with America is that we have allowed our politicians to be bought by corporate interests. That's the problem. It's not capitalism. The problem is our politicians are being bought by corporate interests. So let's say you started a lemonade stand today. You're selling your lemonade. People love your lemonade. They're buying up your lemonade. And you're starting to make mad money. Everybody likes your lemonade. They like your lemonade better than every other lemonade on the market. So now your lemonade is making lots of money. It's just booming. I mean, it blows up. All of a sudden, in like 2 years of you having this lemonade stand, your lemonade business is now worth $1 billion. Like, everyone's buying your lemonade. It's all over the stores. It's in Walmart. It's in Publix. It's everywhere. Everywhere people are buying it up. Beautiful. Great. Wonderful. Here's where the government would step in. The government would step in by saying, hey, listen, we love your lemonade stand. Nothing wrong with that. That's capitalism. Beautiful. The minute your lemonade company starts to buy up other lemonade companies, so like another person starts selling their lemonade and they're making money off their lemonade, and you step in and you say, hey, I'm going to buy that company from you for $1 million. Boom, you buy it, you immediately shut it down. You take their recipe, you put it into your lemonade. That is what makes people feel like capitalism is wrong, right? So we're looking at Facebook, right? Facebook started out, they were doing their thing. I don't even like Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook. And it's not because of what they're doing. It's more, well, it is because of what they're doing. I don't have Facebook because Mark Zuckerberg, one, he works for the FBI, and two, they're giving our information to the government. Everything you're doing on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, if I'm correct, he's like the second in charge of collecting information on Americans. Like, he works for the FBI, you know what I mean? And then on top of the fact that they sell our information to foreign entities, they're selling our information to all kinds of companies, third-party companies. You know, that was the whole problem with Cambridge Analytica. They sold our information to another company that sold our information to another company that then used that information to create public ads to spread disinformation and misinformation, which again are two different things. Disinformation is not misinformation. It's important that we understand these two separate things. But back to the capitalism, back to your lemonade stand. You got your lemonade stand blowing up. Let's go back to Facebook. Facebook, they were doing their thing, right? Instagram was doing their thing. Instagram had something completely different from Facebook. They put up pictures and things like that. What did Facebook do when they saw that Instagram was picking up steam? They were starting to become a big player in the social media network, right? What did Facebook do? They bought them, and then they integrated all Instagram's technology into Facebook, right? Now that is something that we should be against. The government should step in and say to Facebook, listen, you can't do that. You cannot buy this other social media network just so that your social media network can grow and be bigger and stronger and own the social media market, I guess. You know, that's what we're against. We don't want that. We don't want corporations to grow to such a huge size that they own the market on something, that no one else can step in and do whatever it is that they're doing, right? So that's the problem. It's not capitalism that's the problem. It's that. So how do we fix that? We fix that by having government officials who understand that the government's job is to regulate. That is the government's job. The government's job is to protect the people. Their job is to make sure that all of our rights are protected. So I have the right to start my own business. I have the right to bear arms. I have the right of freedom of speech. I have certain rights that you know are provided to me. One, because I'm alive. I'm just alive, so I have certain rights. Two, because I live in America, I have certain rights. And in America, the government should protect my rights, right? So why do we have the government? Why do we want the government to regulate? I'll tell you why. Let's say, again, going back to Facebook. Facebook bought up Instagram. Let's say Facebook bought Snapchat and they bought Twitter. Now they're a monopoly. They own the social media market. They would have owned every major player of social media, right? So yeah, you have Moco Space and I don't know, MySpace and, you know, whatever other social media platforms, Google Plus, which they don't have anymore, but whatever other social media platforms there are, Tagged or whatever, you know what I mean? When Facebook starts buying up these companies, they're corrupting the system, because now there's no options. There's no options. So the beautiful thing about capitalism is that there are options. If you don't like the way one company operates, you don't like their tactics. Again, I don't like Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I don't advertise on Facebook anymore. I don't promote Facebook anymore. All I do is I use the companies that I like. I use Twitter and I use Snapchat. I like Twitter. I like Snapchat. The moment I don't like the way Twitter and Snapchat do their business, I'm going to stop using them. I'm going to go to another social media platform. So people will say, oh, well, if I don't use Facebook, then I won't get to talk to my family. Your family has a phone, don't they? Call them. Use another platform. Email them. There are options. But to sit here and say, capitalism is horrible, capitalism is wrong. So what should we do then? What should we do? What should we have? Communism? Are you serious? What are you talking about? Capitalism is a beautiful thing. The ability to start a business. Supply and demand is a beautiful thing. All we need to do is regulate the companies. We need to regulate them because we want to make sure that, one, they're protecting the environment. Two, they're protecting people. So they're not selling us products that are giving us cancer, that are poisoning us, that are killing us. Three, they're not underpaying workers. They're not paying people, 2 cents an hour. They're not misusing people, right? So people will say, oh, well, look at sweatshops and slave labor, right? How do we combat that? Tell you how we combat that. Using capitalism. If you don't like the practices of a company, you would just spend your money with a different company. Don't give that company your money. Use another company. Right? So people say, oh, well, there are no options. Yes. Research. Do your research. Take your time. Google something. Look it up. I don't buy from Amazon. Why don't I spend my money with Amazon? Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world, and he pays his employees $15 an hour. I'm against that. You got all this money. Amazon makes so much money, they can pay all of their employees a minimum of $20 an hour. If you look at what those people have to do in that warehouse, right? How they have to run back and forth to pick up supplies and do this and do that. They deserve more money. They deserve more money. Now, if Jeff Bezos has so much money, he can just automate the whole thing. Yeah. Don't hire humans. Build robots. Let the robots do it. I'm totally for that. Not a problem. Then people will say, well, what about jobs? Nobody will have a job then if all the robots do the work. There will still be jobs. Learn how to make the robots. Learn how to repair the robots. Learn how to fix the robots. Learn how to repair the parts for the robots. Learn how to program the robots. There's always going to be something for people to do. And if you can't work at Amazon, go and do something else. Start your own business. Do your own thing. So people will say, well, what business can I start? Let's say you grew up in your neighborhood all your life. You're 40 years old and you've lived in, let's lower down the age. Let's say you're 25, you've lived in the same neighborhood your entire life. You know every store, you know every street, you know a lot of people, right? Why don't you just start a tourism company? You start advertising. You tell people, hey, listen, I know this area. If you're coming to visit this area, I'll take you around. I'll show you places in this area. The best food, the best places to hang out, the best parties, the best underground clubs, so on and so forth. Everything is a job. Everything is money. That's how capitalism works. Capitalism tells you that if you want to make money, you can do that. All you have to do is figure out how. What do people want to buy from you? Look at me. I write books. I write stories. I have my own website that I sell different products. Everybody's not going to buy from my website. Some people will. Some people won't. Some people will buy my book. Some people won't. That's how capitalism works. Supply and demand. Do you have something that other people want to spend their hard-earned money for? So I'm against the idea of, capitalism is horrible. Oh, down with capitalism. Capitalism keeps black people down. It does not. So we'll go into slavery, right? Slavery ended and the slaves were thinking to themselves, yeah, man, we got all this knowledge. We learned how to farm the grounds. We learned how to work we learned how to pick cotton. We're going to make money. We're going to have money. That's what they're thinking in their minds. Why didn't they make any money? Not because of capitalism. It's because the people in power decided that they were not going to allow black people to have the opportunity to make money. So now these people know how to pick cotton. They know how to work the farmlands, but they don't have land of their own to work. And the government didn't give them the land like they promised that they would. But if black people were given land of their own, you would have billionaire black people right now. A large amount of people, of black people specifically, would be rich because they would have gotten land, they would have worked the land, they would have taught their kids to work the land, they would have a lot of that farmland now. But because the people in power stop them from being able to utilize capitalism to the fullest extent, that's why. So it's not capitalism, it's the people in power. And I just have to make this video because it's like all weekend I've been seeing that on Twitter. People sending me videos about how capitalism is horrible, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's not the system, it's the people, and it's the people who are enforcing the system. It's the people that are corrupting the system, that change the system. It's those people that are making the problem worse. You know what I'm saying? We have to get rid of those people. That goes back into what? That goes back into voting. That goes back into running for politics. That goes back into how can we help the situation? What can we do to make things better? But saying capitalism is bad, oh, down with capitalism. Come on, man. Stop that. Stop that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. You know what I mean? Let's not make videos about how bad capitalism is. Well, what is your solution? Tell us your solution. You know what I mean? Tell us what you think is going to fix the problem. How can we ensure that everybody wins? Because last I checked, the only way to ensure that everybody wins is if we have a system that protects people, that protects consumers, that protects businesses. We have a government that protects us from corporations misusing and abusing us. That's what we need. We need that. So we just need better politicians. We need better people. How do we get better politicians? By people running for politics. We gotta have more people running, more people voting. 100 days before it's time to vote for a president. I mean, by the time I upload this video, it'll have already passed. But we gotta vote. We have to vote. We have to make noise. We have to participate in the political process. That's the only way to make changes. But saying that capitalism is bad, it's not bad. Capitalism is supply and demand. You have something that I want to buy, I have the money to buy the thing that you have. That bartering stuff, it doesn't work. The only way bartering works is if everybody has some type of skill, some type of trade. I can, I'm a writer, so I would turn to somebody and say, hey, listen, I need a house built. I'll write something for you. If every guy who builds a house doesn't need anything written, I'm screwed. But guess what? I'm a writer. So I'm going to write and I'm going to sell my writing. Someone will buy it. I'll take that money, go to the guy who builds houses and give him that. Look how the motorcycle rolled by while I'm making a video. And give him that. That's the beauty of capitalism as opposed to this bartering stuff. So I think it's very important that we just take the time to really just think about the things that we're reposting, we're retweeting, the things that we're saying to each other, the things that we're promoting, because capitalism is not wrong. And you know what I mean? And I'm willing to talk to anybody about this. I think that we should all talk about this and understand what's happening in our country and just paying attention, man. It's almost time to vote. We gotta vote. We gotta get out here and make our voices heard, run for politics. We have to participate in the system instead of just complaining. Don't just complain. Have some type of solution. What do you think we can do to make things better? And then let's do that. So thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. Yo, man, check out my website. I got my store, my online store. I put it back up, so I got different items for people. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about making a video displaying all the things that are on my website for sale. I'm really trying to get my online store together. I want to sell products that you didn't even know you needed. That's my main goal. I'm selling products that you didn't even know you needed, as well as products for artists. I want to, if you're an artist and you make things, you draw things, you write things, hit me up on my website. I'll put it up on my site to sell for you. That's more advertising. That's more publicity. That's capitalism, baby. So thanks for watching another episode of the Joseph Bristol Show. And let's all remember, man, we are literally all out here trying to do the same thing. We just want to be happy and we just want to survive and prosper. Stay blessed. Stay safe.
Leave a comment below.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Make sure you like and subscribe.